State.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. The state would like to next call SS.
Ma'am, good morning. Watch your step. If you need a glass of water, let Mr. Gray know. He'll certainly accommodate you.
So right here.
State main quiet, you're ready.
You just please reintroduce yourself to the jury.
Samaya Sawyer.
And are you the sister of Ayanna Sawyer?
Yes.
And did you provide a victim impact evidence statement?
Yes.
And Ms. Sawyer, will you please read it verbatim to the jury?
Yes. From now until the day I perish, there will always be an element of my life that will be permanently missing. That element is Ayanna Sawyer. Our lives were so intertwined, everywhere we went, we were asked if we were twins. In fact, you would rarely see one Sawyer sister without the other. However, now you would never see me or my sister together. Ayanna was my older little sister. She was so childish she could make you laugh at the most inappropriate times. But that's what made her so special. She was the beam of sunlight that could peek through a hurricane. We could be grounded all weekend, and yet she would still make it feel like it was a normal day. Ayanna was extremely intelligent. She wanted to be a pediatrician. We planned on going to college and becoming physicians together. We planned our lives around each other so much, we even decided that each of us would live on opposite sides of the Riverwalk with apartments facing each other. Unfortunately now, I am completing those same milestones by myself. With every accomplishment bringing great sadness, for every congratulations, the thought that I should not be my mother's first child to graduate, attend college, or move into an apartment crosses my mind. It's extremely difficult to step into my childhood bedroom and see one bed where there used to be two. Every loving memory that I have of my sister has always been overshadowed by the fact that memories will be all that I can carry with me in life. I'm always saddened by the fact that I will never be able to hear her voice, argue over whose shirts is whose, know her daughter Hazel, or see the beautiful woman and mother she would have become. After the announcement of my sister's disappearance and death, school became another place of torment for me. Every day, people who I have never met, who I have never seen before, would approach me and ask if that dead girl was my sister. There would be times where I would randomly have to leave school to go downtown to the police station. There were so many occasions where there was little to no notice, and most instances I would be there late into the night. Still, even that did not compare to the misery I endured within those school walls. There would be days where I could not fathom the thought of walking through school doors. On those days, I would sit in the car until the end of the school day and just cry. However, when the 2 o'clock bell rang, I had to compose myself as if I was not in disarray, so my younger brother did not see the mental instability the situation has forced upon me. As I now have to be their source of comfort, just as Ayanna was for me. On numerous occasions, the dismissal process from school would be a battle in itself, as media stations would linger to report their stories on my sister's disappearance. Throughout the time Ayanna has been gone, day by day, individuals have questioned my mother's parenting. It's very difficult as a teenager to see those who have only read about my mother's question how she raised my siblings and I. Might I add, my mother was and is still an exceptional mother. I remember nights seeing my mother crying on her closet floor, blaming herself for Ayanna's devastating loss. There's nothing that I can do ever to lift that burden from my mother, but assure her that it was not her hands that caused Ayanna to no longer walk this earth with us. As if it was yesterday, there will always be an image ingrained in my mind of my mother walking through the front door with bloodshot eyes. That was the night my brothers and I were informed of Ayanna's passing. Seeing my mother never agree to make sure that her children could grieve will forever weigh heavy on my heart. As I think about how my family has changed forever, I think about how my fiancé would never meet the sister I speak so highly of. My sister would not have my sister will not be my bridesmaid at my wedding, or the fact that our future children will never be able to play together. My family will forever have an empty space that can never be filled by anything or anyone. Some nights I have vivid dreams of my sister, as if it was a normal day that we would spend together. But then I am forced to open my eyes and realize that it will only ever be a dream. All I can ever do is cry and wait for the day I will see her again. Then there are other nights where nightmares are endless. The disappearance of my sister has caused me a great deal of mental instability. I just can't understand how someone who is loved and carrying life herself can be thrown away as if they were trash, as if they meant absolutely nothing to anyone. Ayana was loved. Hazel was love. Ayana was my compass whenever I felt lost. She was my best friend. There was a point where I could not fathom going through life without her, but I know she would not want me to be anything less than great in life. There's not a day where I don't miss her or cannot stop replaying her smile in my mind. What I would give to have just one more day with her. Even if we are arguing throughout the entire day, I would be extremely grateful. I never took into consideration the phrase, you never know what you have until it's gone. Until I was informed that Ayana will forever be gone, as it was then that I learned that half of me will forever be gone. Though she would never have a resting place, her loving memories will forever rest within my heart.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor, state rests.
Defense. Members of the jury, I'm going to take a 10-minute break real quick. We'll have an idea of what direction we're going thereafter. It's 11:40. Any longer? Okay, we'll come back at around 11:55. We'll go from there. All right, the jury's outside our presence. You guys may have a seat. I still have counsel for the state defense. Mr. Quiles present. You just want a break?
We're ready to go. We just were going to ask for a 5-minute, but I need a little bit longer. That's no problem at all. But we're ready to go. Dr. Roars, and I'm prepared to be called.
It's already almost 12 o'clock. How long is Dr. Rohr going to be? Just so I know for the jury's sake. I'm happy to go ahead and give the jury a lunch break now and just tell them, go ahead and go to lunch. See you back at 12:45. Just so you guys know, my plan would be at this point, have you finish your case. If I'm assuming you can finish it this afternoon, we'll see how long it takes, and then just do closings tomorrow morning.
And Judge, just from our perspective, we would be prepared to do everything today. I do not expect that it would take all afternoon to get through those character witnesses. I think if we could get Dr. Rohr done this morning before they go to lunch, and then when they come back from lunch, I don't expect that those other witnesses would take longer than an hour and a half in total. That I just don't expect it to be there that long.
Okay, I don't want to send the jury out to lunch at 1 o'clock though. That's my only. I didn't tell them to be prepared for a light lunch. 1 o'clock is on the latter end. I'd rather just send them home now, or send them away for their lunch break now, and just that this 5-10 minute breaks encompassed in their lunch break, and we'll go forward this afternoon. Does the doctor have a conflict that's going to create a timing issue?
No, not at all, Judge. It's just we don't expect it to be lengthy.
How?
Bob estimates that his direct would be at max 30 minutes, and I know that the state might have a little bit to say, but I don't expect it to be longer than our direct by any means.
I'm fine with that. The court's proposed schedule, just give them their lunch break now.
I mean, they heard some powerful testimony. Let me give them a break.
Of course.
That may be the wisest thing to do. It's 11:45. I'll have the staff let them know that they'll have till 12:45 for lunch. So if that's 12:45. Let's say Dr. Roar's an hour. That's 1:45. You think we're closing by 4?
Judge, I would be shocked if we were not done well before that. I think that we'd be perfectly fine to do closings today. Spoken to the state about the length of theirs. I think both of our closings together would be an hour, maybe slightly longer for the state, depending on what he said. But so I think we could get it all done today, Judge.
All right, I'll make a judgment call at I'll make a judgment call this afternoon. I don't want them closing and being charged at 4:30, 4:45.
Understood, Judge.
That's my preference. They may have a different preference, but
The state will be prepared for closings as well.
okay.
Yeah, whatever the court wants, Judge, we'll comply. We're ready for today. If we need to do it, and there's plenty of time, we're prepared to move forward.
Okay, and what I'll do is I'll have courthouse IT. So number one, please let the jury know they have till 12:45 for lunch. 12:45. And then I'll have courthouse IT in here setting up the courtroom for Zoom purposes for your witnesses this afternoon. Just so you know, there's a camera on the evidence cart. That will essentially be your camera. The clerk will go over there, swear them in. That monitor, what you see on the evidence cart, will be on all the devices in the courtroom, and the audio will be hooked up. So essentially, they're still using the audio in the courtroom, just like you do in first appearance court or like you do in a typical courtroom with Zoom nowadays. They recommended that would be the easiest process, and you have the Zoom ID, and I can control that up here as well.
Yes, Judge, and I've already provided the Zoom ID to the witnesses, the 3 witnesses that will be appearing via Zoom. And we did test, not on that Zoom number, of course, but on their devices. I've gone through that with them, so I'm hoping we have no issues today whatsoever. But
Okay, just give them a time that they can Zoom in, and we'll leave it up to you to make that time work, and I'll work if it fits in with your schedule or you want to move things around, whatever you want to do.
Yes, Judge. Now that we know the schedule as far as lunch, I will call them and make sure that we know that during this break here that they're available and try and get them on this afternoon.
Okay. Anything else we need to handle outside lunch? If we are going to closings today, I ask you to look at the final instructions. The one question I had stated is that part of the final instructions include if they put it in a lack of record, I think he has a possession of marijuana charge. I'm not sure if you want that to rebut the lack of record, if that's worth it to you. Please take a look at that and let me know the state's desire. Everything else in the final instruction should be rather absent the mitigating circumstance, which I read, which I asked you to go over again to make sure that's the list in the order you want it. You don't want to combine anything or separate anything further out. Just take a look at it. I did it the way you guys proposed, since I figured that's why you put it in the pleading that way. Just take a look at that, and we can discuss that. Maybe get here at 12:35, and we'll discuss those issues.
Yes, Judge. I think there's a way to consolidate just a little bit so it's a little clearer and not repetitive for several of them. So we'll do that over this break and make sure we have that to you. So we do plan to give you something additional from what you
do it over the break, or what I would ask you to do maybe easier is copy and paste those mitigating circumstances into a separate Word document, work off that Word document, and then maybe email it back to me over the break. Email it to me back over the break, and we'll take a look at it.
Yes, Judge, we'll do that.
All right. See you guys at 12:35.
Thank you, Judge.